Hello, Credo. It is 5:55, and I am going to actually start us off with just a couple of warm-ups. So I figured we'd get started a few minutes early, just so we can have some dedicated time to some warm-ups and some breathing exercises. So if you're at home, if you can stand while you're doing this, that would be ideal. Obviously, you don't want to just stay seated the entire time, but you do what you're most comfortable with. But a couple of things we can do. First thing, we're going to do an inhale on 4. Then we're going to exhale on an S. Okay? We're going to hold that for about 12 counts. So take 4 beats, inhale, and when you get to the end of your 4th beat, I want you to have completed an entire inhalation, and you do not hold your breath. So you should time it to where when you finish inhaling, as soon as we get to the next count, you can go. Okay? Here we go. So we're going to start at 1, 2, ready, inhale, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and we'll put a k at the end of our S. Okay, all right, let's do that again. We'll take it a little bit faster. We're going to take 8 counts this time to inhale. 2, ready, inhale. Exhale. Good. I hope you did well. All right. Let's do a couple of, we're going to call these dog pants because that's what they are. We're going to inhale on 4. Then we're going to exhale starting on 8th notes. It'll be okay. We'll do 8 count on the exhale. Inhale for 4. Exhale on dog pants for 8. Ready? In 3, inhale. Exhale. Good. And you want to have gotten rid of all of your air by the end of that last pant. Okay. The name of the game is no bad air. Okay. So what do I mean by that? You never want to ever have a moment to where you haven't fully gotten rid of all your air. That way, when you breathe back in, you have obviously more room in your lungs for oxygen as opposed to carbon dioxide that you did not exhale all the way on the last time. This happens for horn players. Okay. All right, let's do that once more. We're going to inhale for 4, out for 8, 2, and we're ready. Inhale. Good. Thank you. Hey, Shirley. Notice I'm doing one of these things when I inhale, and I'm doing one of these things when I exhale, right? So basically, you want to fill the tank. Yeah, we want to fill our glass of water from the bottom up, not from the top down, right? So you want to have a deep breath as we inhale, okay? All right, let's do 2 more things on breathing. Let's just take a nice 8 count and inhale, okay? Deep, low breath. When we get done with that, we're going to exhale just on that S. And then actually, as we're going, we're going to go for 16 counts. So in for 8, out for 16. Here we go. 2, ready, inhale. Stop. How many of you at home have already finished breathing and are just holding your breath waiting for the end of this, yeah? To start exhaling. Make sure you take all 8 counts to inhale, okay? 2, ready, one more time, and... Good. How did you do? I hope you did well. Hope you made it. If you're feeling a little dizzy or anything like that, that is a pretty good indicator that your your brain's getting more oxygen than it's normally used to now, and it's going, oh my gosh, what's all this stuff? So if I were you, I would highly advise you to on a daily basis, if you can, do breathing exercises because it's more about moving air than anything. If you have the gasoline, which is the air, then life will be much easier, okay? Let's do one more dog pant, and then we'll start doing some vocalizing. Inhale for 8, then we'll dog pant for, let's see how long we can go, probably 12. Here we go. Inhale for 8. 1, 2, ready, inhale. That's all I could go. I've gotten rid of all of my air at that point. Hello, Grace Roman. All right, we're gonna do just some easy vocalizing. Here we go. Just we're gonna start it on a hum. Just 3 notes. And before we continue any further, we're going to make sure that we want to have space, right? So space in the back to create some resonance back there. However, we don't want the sound to get trapped in the back. We don't want it... Yeah, so I cheat. I put my teeth together, and then I actually have the tip of my tongue touching my teeth. So I still have space in the back, but that's just the cheat for me to help me remember that all of the buzz needs to be in the front. Okay? Here we go. One more time. Ready? And... in the front of the mask. Going. Still keeping space. About 2 more. Deep breaths. One more. Actually, we're not going to do that. Let's start on the and now, as we're gonna keep doing this in just a second. Couple of things. One, we want there still to be pitch, right? So we don't want we don't want so much tension on your top lip that it's keeping you from your lip from vibrating, right? So if you're having some tension, just do a little wiggle and that'll loosen it up, yeah? But we really want a pitch right there. So if you think about your sound, it can go all over the place. I want you to condense that sound to the tiniest of a pinhole. And that's where I want that sound to come out when you're doing the little v. Okay, so let's try that. Here we go. 3, and... use more air than you need. Think up as you go down. A couple more. Keep going. Basses and altos. I can't sing any more than that. As we go down, I want you to bring the sound even more forward. Ready? And a go. Keep going down. Open to it. V. 2 more. One more. Good. Oh, I think it's been too long for this, right? Yeah. We're gonna start a little bit lower. Sunday fun day, yes. A little bit lower. Ready? 2, and if I want my diction to be clear and understood. Lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. If I want my diction to be clear and understood, lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. If I want my diction to be clear and understood, lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. If I want my diction to be clear and understood, lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. If I want my diction to be clear and understood, lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. One more. If I want my diction to be clear and understood, lips and tongue and tip of teeth will help it to be good. I cannot multitask like, well, I just can't do much multitasking right now. So that's as much as you're getting out of me. We're going to hop right into Rejoice. And for those of you who are tuning on just now, I'm going to start about 5 minutes earlier. Completely optional for you all, but I think it's important that we do some breathing. So 5 till, if you want to hop on, you can join us in some breathing exercises for future reference. But let's go ahead and take a look at Rejoice. And we're going to work from the back end of this piece to the beginning. All right, so we're going to go on page, whatever that, page 23, the very last page. Okay, and this is that 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then we have the fun, that thing. Just a reminder, last measure, we're all going to we'll cut off on the downbeat of 3. However, we're waiting in our minds, in our mind, we're waiting for the altos to move on beat 3, yeah? That 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 1 and 2 and 3, they're moving, okay? Last measure. Let's start measure 135, beat 3. Bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. Here we go. 1, 2, T, 4, 1, 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then I hope you just sang your pitch right there. I want to do one quick thing. I want to do the duet, please, between all the guys. We're going to go slow, measure 135, then we'll do the ladies. Here we go, bass, baritone, tenor, 1 and 2. We'll do that one more time. I want you to pay attention to that C natural baritones. That interior voice, yep. Are you ready? And 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then remember, tenor 1s, you're not on the G flat, you're on the A flat, okay? So we have this lovely major triad. All right, baritones, notice you move on the downbeat of the last measure. Rejoice. Okay, just make sure you got that. Ladies, let's do your part, please. And I love the cluster chord on Joyce of Rejoice. Right there, that last beat. Listen to that again. That's just so luscious, okay? All right, here we go. Slowly, ladies. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and just a reminder, really, it's because we're going to sprinkle that top note on. Okay? All right, all parts one more time, please. Bass, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. How'd you do? I hope you did well. While you're typing how you did, if you care to share, we're going to go up tempo this time, okay? All right, here we go. 135. 1, 2, T, 4, 1 and 2. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3. And you're done. It's that fast, okay? All right, real fast, let's flip one page back. This is pick up to measure 132. Pick up to 132. This is So Let's Give Him Praise. And just a reminder, the staccati on praise and day, we don't want the clip thing going on, yeah? So keep your mouth open. It should be 1 and 2. So let's give him praise, praise. Yeah, it's not praise, praise. Yes, okay. Yes, Grace she said, good, woo, thank you. I'm picturing a huzzah there for a second. All right, let's speak this real fast in tempo. Pick up to 132. Here we go. So I'll give you 1, 2, 3, then you'll come in. Here we go. 1, 2. So let's give him praise. 1, 2. Clap your hands today. 1 and 2. Let us rejoice. And then you're back to that. Okay. All right. So the biggest thing with this entire page is, even though you have these pickups on these off beats, it does not have to. It should not feel like work to you. You should know they're coming, and so when you inhale, you feel calm, cool, and collected, and you don't feel like you're going, and you have to be off to the races. Okay. All right. Here we go. 1 and 2 and. Let's do that one more time. And I want you to pay particular attention to how I just played that. And what I want you to pay attention to is the accents. Where do I choose to place accents or give weight? So take a listen to that. 1 and 2 and. Yeah, so just for a prime example, if we go really slow, we'll go ba da ya da dee ya. Ba-dee-dum. And yeah, the composer writes that accent in there. And I mean, it's what's written, but you have to know that that's one little phraselet, right? So let's give him praise. Okay. Oh, that's okay, James. No big deal. We'll have this. It's recorded. It'll be recorded, so y'all can catch the beginning. So let's do this once more. Let's have just the ladies. Altos are paying particular attention to singing in A natural, A flat. Yeah, here we go. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Then you're back off like you're doing your thing. Okay? All right, let's hear the guys, please. And if you could, everybody at home, on the word hymn, if you could actually, I don't want you to think, I really wish there was a, it's going to sound ridiculous, but I wish there was a musical symbol that had a ranking of weight. Jane, we're on page 22, measure 132. But on the word hymn, if I had to give you a scale from between 1 to 10, 10 being the heaviest, him would be like a 3. So it would be, so let's give him praise. And that way it keeps any of the weight off of the word him or of today. To me, I just feel like that helps it. It's a little bit more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is, but it's what we're looking for. Okay? Here we go. Men. 132. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. And that's what we're looking for, okay? Baritones, guys, I know you have that perpetual A. This is like the piece of perpetual A for all the baritones. Every time that you have it, though, unless it's spot on and changing with the chord, yeah, make those micro adjustments. That's where that's the magic. That's where that happens. All right, all parts, please. We're gonna go slower, a little under tempo, paying particular attention to the A natural, A flats from the altos, and then the right accents and weights. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Good. And so one exercise that I will do every once in a while, if I'm living with a piece of music, right? And so I want to just kind of refresh and reset how I'm viewing something musically. I will try and play it in the most weirdest ways. And it kind of helps break up the mold, and it gives you a little bit more perspective. So for a prime example, something like this is super rhythmic, right? So we're coming out of something like this. Right? And that's where we're at. But for a practice example, for a quick second, let's just pretend like you're in some weird random blues club. So we'll have... do something completely off the cuff and completely just change your perspective on what you're thinking this sounds like. And if you can think of this as like a smooth jazz singer singing a solo, just... And now think about that smoothness and try to put that into your singing. I know it's a little odd. It's a little odd. You might feel a little discombobulated, but just try it. Here we go. Because, well, we'll take just a second. Here we go. 1, 2, T, 4, 1 and 2 and. All right, so then hopefully you were successful with that. The reason being is because this same little, what do you call it, theme happens 10 million times in this piece of music. And unless you have different ways to have a different intent in your brain, it's going to get real boring real fast, right? Right. All right, let's go to the beginning, because if you've covered the last 2 pages, you've covered a decent chunk of this. All right. So from the beginning, let's go right through this first page, please. All the way through measure 10. Here we go. 1 and. Lift, shout. And lift. And 2 and T. And then you have the little rejoice. Now, I want you to think back like a minute ago to when I asked you to think about that last chunk as like a smooth, sultry jazz kind of thing or a blues. Well, take a look at the beginning. It can also be, this really lends itself to that kind of schmaltz-ish, okay? Let's do this whole beginning once more with that in mind, and I do want to isolate one thing on the guy's parts. Baritone line, super important. You give us the crunch, right? It feels so unfulfilling in the baritone line, but if you have the bass too. And make sure it's people, not people. Okay? All right, here we go. Ready? And a lift. Shout unto God. And a lift. And 2 and T. Lift, red, and then we get to do our thing, yeah? All right, so real fast, let's do this pick up to measure 11. Just a reminder what this is going to look like. If I'm on sing his praises, baritones and altos move, lift, with a rid, jump, dum, bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 rejoice. Da ba dee ba da ba dee ba dee ba dee ba da bum. I love the crunchy chords too, Jennifer. I very much do. All right, so this is pick up to bar 11. There's my bass note, baritone, tenor, alto, soprano. Here we go. And with a rid, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and now one thing. Did you move on the and of 4 altos and baritones? Yeah. Ja, 1 and 2 and T and 4 M. 1 and 2 and T and 4 and. 1 and 2 and T and 4 and. We're moving on the and of 4. Okay? So just make sure you get that. Let's do that once more. And with a rid. And 1 and 2 and T and 4 and 1 and 2 and T and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and T. 2 T. 2 T. 1 and 2 and T. Now, before I go any further, did you do a subito piano right there? I'm looking at you. I don't know who you are, but you know who you are. Okay? Let's go ahead and start back, please. Let's start at top of 6. Rejoice. 2, 3. There is power in the name of the Lord. Not all words are created equal. Yes? All right, here we go. 1, 2, T. Rejoice. 2, T. 1 and 2 and T. All right, now, since we all know page 8's coming up, and the altos and the baritones are just ready for that. So, real fast, can we just have pick up to measure 27? Pick up to 27, please. So we're going to have the altos and the basses. And that is the right notes that I just played right there. Yes. Okay. Here we go. Altos and bass baritones. This is pick up to bar 27. We're going to go slow. 1 and 2 and T. Whoop. So you'll have 1 come on and C. Baritones, just a reminder, right? So you'll have 1, 2, T, rejoice, rejoice. Yes, okay? So just make sure that you are moving, and we are on the oi vowel, yeah? The ho, 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 ho. No ois until you get to the end of the word baritones. The only people using words there are the altos. All right, let's do that once more, up tempo. Here we go. 1, 2, T, 4. 1 and 2 and T. Okay, then you're doing your thing. All right, let's go back, please. Everybody, top of page 6, back up tempo. And when we're doing this, so real fast, I'll just sing the tenor part. This is page 6, top of page 6. Real fast, I want you to pay a quick attention on how we're actually emphasizing these words. Yeah, we have the accents that are written rejoice, there is power in the name of the Lord. Yeah, and that's completely fine, but just remember that basically, if I were you, I would think if it has an accent, yeah, that gets a lot of attention. But the other notes, I want you to think of those as not throwaway notes, but you should know them so well, and it should be so second nature to you that when you're singing and you're not accenting them, it's like you don't have to look at your music almost. Yeah, what a concept, right? If you have it memorized and you can just whistle this tune to yourself, and by tune I mean your part, then that frees up some RAM, so you don't have to work so hard on the notes that don't matter as much. Yep. Let's do this, please. I'll just do the men. Top of 6, first bar. 1, 2, 3. Rejoice. There is power in the name of the Lord, and He is here. And then I played that terribly, but I know that you sang it right at home. We're just going to pretend that happened. All right, ladies, I don't think I have to have you do it separately. You're going to just go ahead and do it. All right, here we go. Top of 6, the first bar, the rejoice. And just to remember, we are throwing these away, yeah? The rejoice. It's not rejoice. Don't keep it to yourself. It goes out, yeah? Here we go. 1, 2, T. 2, T. 1, 2, T. How'd you do? I'm just curious. I want you to notice that I'm not going to play, because here's the deal. Piano covers your parts. I'm just going to play the bass line. Let's see how you do. We'll go slow. Here we go. Same place. Rejoice. 1 and 2. Top of 6. 1 and 2 and T. 2 and T. There is 1, 2, 3. And 2 and T. 2 and T. Rejoice. Okay, and if you can sing that, if you can sing your part with just hearing the bass line, that's when you know you have it. Okay, because cheat codes. If the piano's playing on the right hand, all the parts are covered, so it's much easier to pick out those parts. Okay. All right, top of 6, up tempo, once more through, please, just to lock in. Here we go. 1, 2, T, 4, 1 and 2 and T. 1 and 2 and 3. Dip, 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 dip. 3, rejoice, come on again, rejoice. Ba-da-dee-da-dee-da-dee. And then we'll have Jennifer doing I'm not going to sing that for you. I think you know this. And then we'll have Jake on page 10. We'll have, oh, magnify the Lord with me. And then y'all can do your thing. And then we will come back and we'll get into the end, but that's the same as the beginning. Okay? All right, that's all we're going to do on this for right now. I want to spend a little bit of time on the Agneau de Dieu, and we're going to talk about a little bit of text, and then we're going to sing. Okay? All right. Everybody, let's swap over, please. That's our French. And we're going to go ahead and do on the first page here, please. Let's get all the way through bar 10. Just a reminder what this sounds like. Are we doing the repeat at the top of 8? Jane just asked. Yes, we will. That's back to Rejoice. Yes, we're going to do the repeat, but not tonight. All right, here we go on the Agneau de Dieu. On do. 2, T. All right, so I'm sure that you just did fabulously. Quick text, okay? Normally I would do this on Zoom, but I just feel that you can hear it better on this, and if you want to go back and listen, you'll hear it again. So I'm gonna speak this in rhythm, and I'll play the parts, and then I'll speak the text. Okay, here we go. And just a reminder, there's no hard G. There's no hard G on og. It's not an og, anything like that. It's like if you're saying onion, onyo, onyo, nya. Okay? There's a glide. 2, T. Agneau de Dieu qui porte le péché du monde, prends pitié de nous, pitié de nous. Okay. So a couple of things, just a couple of things, or we'll do these little words by word. We'll have Agneau de Dieu. And the only thing I want you to make sure you take a note of on the words is after the first measure, the DE, a, nyo, de, dieu, de, dieu. That's a little tricky, so you have to put a glide on the second one, right? So the first one's de, the second one is dieu. Okay, and just make sure that you make that differentiation. Okay, next part after the de, Dieu, qui porte le péché du monde. Okay, now I just did that completely syllabically, and that's on purpose because I want you to get this. The word that I have that is going to be a little weird, I have it highlighted in green, is the dy. So that's the péché du. And all we have to do for that is say D and then poke your lips. E, D, D. Okay, so that's all that is. So péché du monde. Monde. And remember on the mon, we're not going to an N. It's not monde, it's mon. You're gonna paint, yeah, it's your pepe le pew. That's what the kids always say. Paint your nose if you have air moving out and it stops. Life is good. Mon de. All right. Next one is the same little nasal. We call it a nasal. Prends pitié de nous. Pitié, pitié de nous. And that's what we're looking for. Okay. So all that to say, we're going to speak it once more. All right. So we'll have Agneau de Dieu qui porte le péché du monde, prends pitié de nous. That's essentially what it is, okay? Now, we can practice this more as the time goes on, but I think you probably want to sing more than that, yeah? So I'm going to let you do this to your heart's content at home. If you have problems and you're feeling that your pitch is suffering because your brain power is going to text, just swap to do or new. Whatever neutral syllable works for you, right? So we can get it layer by layer, but if you can say this whole first little part that we did, you can say all the words for this piece and life is good, okay? And then obviously, amen at the end, right? All right, here we go. 2, beginning, 3, and... And then the quartet's in. Choir and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, lift, quartet. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 5. Choir. 2, 3, qui porte le péché du monde, prends pitié de nous. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, lift. 2, 2, lift. 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, duets. Alto, tenor. Is the quartet. Left. 2, 3, choir. chord. Agneau de Dieu, donne-nous la paix, donne-nous la paix. La quartet. 2, 3. Everybody's holding it on nous la paix. Right, yeah. Okay, so let's work a little backwards. And while I'm about to, we're going to start at the top of 4, okay? This is the top of 4. This is whenever the ladies join us, the first bar. If you have any questions, just in general, go ahead and type them in the chat while we're reviewing this, and I'll go down the list, okay? All right, so let's take a quick look at the ladies' parts. I think it's a little difficult to find the alto note in this whole little thing, that C. So we're getting this alto as the measure before. And then you have to come in on the Once you get there, life is easy, but finding that first C can be a little intimidating, yeah? So let's do that once more. We're going to hold your C altos. Yeah? Okay, here we go. That's the alto. Soprano 2. Soprano 1, 2. T, ladies. 2, Now I want to do a little experiment here for the altos, because you're still in that same C, right? I want you to sing that C right now. There's your Dieu. Sing that for me, please. Now keep singing the Dieu. Did you feel a shift? Did you feel a shift in your pitch right there? Let's do that once, just one more time. You should feel a shift, and just know it's coming, because that chord on top of 4, last bar, that's just a fantastic little chord. But when the basses and the baritones or tenors go to that F, it's going to really make your C just pop. Okay, but you have to be ready for it and know it's coming so it doesn't catch you by surprise. Okay. All right, let's do just the bottom 4 voices, please. The guys. It's not too difficult, but there's a couple of things I want us to talk about. Here we go. This is the bottom of 3, last measure. This is bar 45, yeah. 2, T. 2, 3, and lift. 1, 2. And then we're on that chord, right? Notice tenor 2, super, super important right there. Without you, it just feels hollow. And we're missing that color, okay? So if you have the E natural, was that tenor 2, agneau de Dieu, agneau de Dieu, right? So if I were you on that that nice to me, that's like the sun popping out, okay? All right, let's have all voice parts right here. And one other thing, and this is getting into that music, that whole thing we do, making music, right? These crescendos and decrescendos, how do we want to treat these? I always find that when we do the expected, music gets kind of boring. So anytime we have an opportunity to catch the listener by surprise and do something that doesn't necessarily, that they're not being led to think it's going to happen, that creates some excitement in the music. Ladies, you have your own phrases. The guys have their own phrases, but they don't have it at the same time. Top of 4, first bar. So how we could treat this the blasé way, it would be agneau de Dieu, agneau de Dieu. Yeah, right. Y'all do that all day long. But I would like for us to add something in here, and what that is would be, I'll just sing the alto line. And so what I just added right there, if you have to write that out, is basically I added one other crescendo, decrescendo in the second bar, right? So you went agno de Dieu, and then we tapered, okay? So it's agno de Dieu. That sounds terrible, but you get the gist of what I'm asking you to do, okay? For the guys, you're starting on bar 45, right? So you're a measure ahead of the ladies. So we'll have agno de Dieu. And by doing that, you're going to join the ladies in their crescendo when they start on the top of 4, all right? All right, let's try that, please. Bar 45. Guys are starting. 2 T. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And now we're at that lovely chord. Okay. Now, how do we want to treat on page 4, top system, the end of the third measure? How do we want to treat between the third bar and the fourth bar? We're going to borrow a little bit of time. So how we're going to do that, if I start at ladies entrance top 4, we'll have and what's going to happen, the guys, it's written in here, but the guys are going to lift, but the ladies do not lift. Okay, so you're going to have to make your catch breaths after you've crossed the bar line, because here's the deal, the ladies are going to help be our tether. And that's how we're going to go about that. The guys are going to have that lift. So if I'm a, what is this? If I'm a 10 or 2, I'm starting on the second measure. Okay, so let's do that, please. Can we just start top of page 4? That was the guys. Alto, soprano, soprano. Top of 4, 3, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Agno de Dieu, donne-nous la paix. Donne-nous la paix. I'll drip it down beat and yes. Okay. All right. Everybody say la paix. La paix. There's no A's on that last word. Make sure you resist the temptation to diphthong it to death. Okay. No migration of the vowel. La paix. Keep it open. You can even, let's keep it open to a E vowel, a little brighter, but an E vowel until we get to the end. Okay? La paix. And you get to spin your air as you decrescendo. All right, guys, let's let's do this from the beginning to the end. Not the beginning, but the bottom page 3, bar 45 to the end. Here we go. 2 T. Donne-nous la paix, donne-nous la paix tutti. 2, 3, 4, nous la paix, 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 paix. We have a funky chord. All right, how'd you do? I hope you did well. All right, that's all we're going to cover on this for tonight. If you have any requests, for the next rehearsal, shoot me an email or text message or post it in the Facebook page. I'll find it. So I will see you on Zoom in about 2 minutes. All right. Thank you, everybody.